Sandton, South Africa. It plays eyeball teams and deliver projects. Each of these beautiful buildings represents companies that were once started by successful entrepreneurs. I will teach you how to make them remain relevant and grow into the wonderful future of technology and customer-focused innovation. My name is Roelof Vermeulen and I'm an entomologist.
So what is my goal with this session? You're probably wondering what it's all about. I'd like to set a narrative of why things have to change to ensure we can maintain the delivery speed currently required. For any business to remain in business, we need to do things faster. My objectives for this session is we need to understand why things are different today than it was a year ago. We also need to understand why certain things cannot change unless governance models change. We need to know how we can deliver faster and better. So that's the whole objective of today's session. You've got AI thrown in there, and probably the largest part of this presentation will be about AI. But I want to just emphasize, I'm not an AI expert, but what I am good at is understanding the benefits that AI brings us, but also the impact it has on how we do things currently in businesses. But before I talk about anything related to that, let's talk about me. And I need to be careful because there's people in this session that actually has worked with me in the past, and some of them during the last 20 years. So I'm just going to keep me honest, and let me know if I missed something. But I'm an entrepreneur, started my first business when I was in high school. When I bought vegetables, repackaged them, and sold them for a profit. As an entrepreneur, I had a variety of businesses in many arenas. I had a property development company and even an online marketing business, but I had many, many businesses. I was a multimillionaire at the age of 26 and completely broke for the second time in my life before my 27th birthday. I started my IT career in 1996 when I learned software development in Fox Pro 2.6. You might want to Google that one. I later moved over to Visual Basic 5 and .NET, etc., etc. I wrote my last code in 2008. So I'm kind of a dinosaur. I was the creator and also the lecturer of the Practical Risk-Based Approach course, a regulatory project management course that was presented by the University of Pretoria to even the regulator in 2019 and 2020. The past 15 years, I have 15 years, I've been a senior project manager and program manager, and for the past 12 years specialized in the financial services sector. I worked at places like ABSA, Standard Bank, Nedbank, Old Mutual, Barclays, ZTE, and Sun International. I even represented banks in the FIC, the FIC, and the SARB, the South African Reserve Bank, for various regulatory projects. I'm the founder and creator of Entomology, a system which I have been using for the past 7 years, and I've introduced XP successfully in regulatory environments in 2019, and I was one of the first teams to successfully introduce PDD into a highly regulated environment. Today, I'm a keynote speaker and consultant who help businesses navigate the new approach of getting projects delivered with entrepreneurial project management and AI. So that's in short who I am. So the people that know me, let me know if I missed anything. or exaggerated. In the backrooms of tech companies across the world, there are advancements brewing that none of us can really or truly comprehend. We sometimes watch some cool videos on TikTok, LinkedIn, and X, but do we really align it to our current realities? For some people, it's scary. For others, they think it's dangerous. For others, it's the end of the world. For me, it's just exciting stuff. When listening to me right now, I want you to look at this video that's playing. And the video that you see there, you'll see there's a little note the moment it says gene editing. And it says in brackets, already exists. I want you to note, because all of the technologies that you see in this video already exists. So watch it while I'm talking. Technology that is spreading innovation like light fires. Everything you see here is like a butterfly effect, because if something is created, a whole bunch of innovation is set to light, and just boom, it happens. But the thing is that innovation is rapidly advancing at many orders of magnitude. In South Africa, one visit to the government departments, and you will realize that others do not yet feel it is here. But the future is here. You can see it in front of you right now in the video. Technology we thought would be years away is already here. What would you do if I tell you that your job as you know it has already changed? What would you do if I tell you that there's already AI technology that has replaced some specific parts of your job? What if I tell you that your company just needs to pull the trigger, but I'm not sure how and what will happen next? But before you get all upset with me, note, jobs are changing. It's not lost. Because as you go through this journey with me, you will soon pick up how important we as humans are in the future of AI. And it's our boring side of our jobs that AI will replace. AI needs our experience and creativity, so our jobs will change and not be lost. Also, AI innovation is traveling at such a rapid pace that our executives are not sure when to commit with the change. I mean, you just thought, okay, let me buy this, let me procure this, and then there's something new on the market. It's just moving insanely fast. But the biggest problem we are sitting with is the processes behind which we procure new technology, and also how we implement them through projects. Today, I will take you on a journey on how I created a system to counter our human-implemented governance-dictated systems that are way too slow to deal with our current situation. But first, there are many advancements like you can see on the screen right now. I want to talk about three in particular. The first one I'll talk about is AI. About 20 years ago, I was deeply involved with online marketing and customer relationship management. I was internationally also highly regarded for it, especially in the online casino industry. My focus was on getting data that informed me where we sourced our customers from, their retention triggers, and their behavior. This enabled me to assess when their behavior changed based on events. I would then set up retention measures and then design processes to ensure we retain them for longer. This caused us to get the average customer retention from 3 months to over 7 months. Little did I know, this was just a drop in the ocean of what is possible today. Currently, billions of people all over the world are creating human behavior data through their interaction on the internet. Every pause on a video, every click on a picture, every search and behavior is silently being documented and mapped by advanced AI algorithms. These algorithms are decoding your thoughts, predicting your next actions, and change the reality for you accordingly. A study by Stanford University found that AI can accurately predict a person's personality traits with 95% accuracy just by analyzing their Facebook likes. Another study by Stanford University in February 2024 revealed that GPT, the chatbot version 4, was not distinguishable from its human counterparts. So next time you are interacting on social media, know that AI is creating a digital twin of you by analyzing every click, the time you spend on reading or watching stuff. This is really happening, and it's not happening to provide you with targeted ads, by the way. While we are using AI like ChatGPT, another generation of AI is already impacting our lives on the job side. The future of AI directing decisions and driving policy decisions is already here. AI is making decisions in boardrooms and governments across the world by crunching numbers, analyzing trends, and making predictions that guide decisions. In 2022, Amsterdam implemented AI to optimize its city transportation network. Within 6 months, traffic congestion reduced by 23% and public transport usage increased by 17%. Residents had no idea AI was behind the improvements. AI is being used to predict crime hotspots, allocate healthcare resources, determine economic policies, drive acquisition strategies, and for simulation of economic scenarios. We already have AI that talk to AI. AI assistants that talk to another regarding the managing of diaries, etc. But in 3 years' time, we will have AI that negotiate deals with humans. AI that are able to do mundane tasks like project management, scheduling, developing organizational strategies, prioritize innovation, complete data modeling. They will even be able to do taxes better than humans can, and diagnose and treat illnesses better than humans can. We will have AI that is 1,000 times more powerful than we have today. That's just in 3 years' time. The second one I want to talk about is closely related to AI is robots. The advancement in robots is also far beyond what we are seeing every day. In the next 20 years, AI-enhanced robots will become common in households across the world. There are already robots like Tesla's Optimus Gen 2 and Boston Dynamics' Atlas that can perform complex household tasks. And by the way, Optimus will be available for purchase in 2025 at a price tag of an estimated $20,000. Third one I want to talk about is actually the big deal: quantum systems. Even supercomputers cannot be compared remotely with the processing power of quantum systems. A quantum computer developed by Google in 2019, that's 5 years ago, and believe me, a lot of things have happened since, solved a problem in 200 seconds that would take the world's most powerful supercomputer 10,000 years to solve. Imagine what would AI combined with quantum power be like. Imagine how we can fast track all sorts of innovation and problem solving. Guys, at this point, I'm just going to quickly have a look at the chat. I can't see it always, so I'm just quickly want to see, is there any questions? You are more than welcome to ask questions. I really don't mind. Okay. Okay. Angel, I'll get back to your question at the end because it might be answered during the session. Okay, let's get back to it. So, if we look at how people are talking about the future of jobs, I know my kids, they've asked me in the past, what must they study? What must they do? And I remember my middle daughter, she wanted to become an actress. And I said to her, that was like 5, 6 years ago. I don't think that's a great idea. I think actors will be replaced by AI. And today we can actually see it happening. So I took a lucky guess, I guess. But everyone's talking about the future of jobs. Tell your kids to become software engineers. I personally, I'm in disagreement with this. The future of jobs is entrepreneurship and innovation, but with the skill of AI framing and AI prompting. In the short-term future, doctors will use AI to make diagnosis more accurately. And also, it will probably use AI to provide appropriate treatments for those diagnoses. Accountants will use AI for almost everything they do that are data-backed. The same will be applicable to software engineers, making use of AI to do their work in seconds. I've experienced it this year. It is insane. And that was with the use of Copilot. However, experience by individuals using it will be vital to ensure that AI deliver correct output. Because that's a problem. If you can't judge or have an idea of what the AI is telling you, whether it's correct or of good quality, you're probably going to miss it, or you're going to make a huge error. Therefore, if you summarize the short-term future, it will no longer be the academic qualification that separates employees. It will be the experience. Currently, companies must do everything they can to retain their talent to ensure their businesses, the future is sustainable. Experience will be the key to understanding the consequences, the risks, and the possible impacts of the AI output. So what I did was I went to ChatGPT. I decided to ask AI. And I asked him, what can AI not do? And the response, or rather never do, and the response that ChatGPT gave me is AI cannot be entrepreneurial or innovate with purpose, vision, or build relationships and inspire teams. I want you to let this sink in, because your future career decisions will be directed by the innovation in AI. Humans possess several qualities that as of current technology, AI does not have. We need to fill the void that AI cannot fill to ensure our businesses remain relevant and competitive. Humans have emotional depth and empathy. We can experience a wide range of emotions and can empathize with others, understanding and sharing the feelings. We also have moral and ethical reasoning. We have creativity and original thought, which means we can solve problems with solutions that do not exist yet. AI, of course, needs existing data, a point of reference. Humans have contextual understanding, and we can adapt to any changes that come. We have intuition, which is needed for quick decisions based on the feelings rather than explicit reasoning like AI will do. And this can be crucial in situations where data is incomplete or time for analysis is limited. But humans have one problem. It's got a process, always some process and governance. And that's destroying their ability to keep up with the transitioning of technology. So current corporate governance is like driving a rally car without visibility. Our board and shareholders rely on our executive to maintain governance based on the basic pillars of governance, which is transparency, accountability, risk management, responsibility, fairness, disclosure practices, ethics, and better decision making. Around the world, corporate governance is changing. There are now better options with the use of AI and the use of blockchain technology that can ensure no information can be edited. Yet, organizations are still stuck in their ways. They're not changing. And this is a sure way of committing business suicide in the next 2 years, by my estimation. So sticking to the theme of rally driving, current corporate governance is the reason agile transformation is failing. I guess I'm the first person that says that. I don't know. I've never heard anybody else saying that. They always blame management, leadership didn't adopt. But what drives that behavior? It's corporate governance. Organizations adopt agile methodologies just to fall back onto methodologies like hybrid methodologies, waterfall, and SAFe, as corporate governance does not evolve with agile. At this point, it is important to understand that corporate governance must be in place, as it is the only way to ensure accountability for people that look after the interests of their shareholders. But, big but, the way that bureaucracy have been put in place with it as mandate actually do not look after the interests of the shareholders. You think about the practical side of things. And on top of that, it's a very expensive exercise and somehow morphed into a system to ensure individuals have a defense against failures. I know. I must still learn a few things, right? Well, that's up to you. If you want to stay in the old way of management and control and believe it actually works, then so be it. But I'm telling you that innovation is moving so fast that you're not only putting your shareholders' interest at risk, but 100% ensure that their businesses will fail, and very soon. Not 5 years from now, but within the next 5 years. So like a rally driver racing at night, corporate governance needs to ensure that its future leaders are navigators and no longer driving the car. The board and the executive need to be like engineers that put together a car that can drive no matter what the driver puts them through. Autonomous teams are the drivers. We need to ensure that we make everything we do transparent for our stakeholders to see. From conceptualizing ideas, funding ideas, to planning the work and eventually producing the end results. Our stakeholders need to know they are given the insight with the responsibility, of course, to remain calm and not make all these harsh emotional decisions. We need a system that can show us and guide us where we must improve. So the autonomy to decide how to improve and leadership that enable us instead of holding us back. To further support me, studies from Insight and Rand Corporation proved that more than 80% of digital projects fail. 80%. So not only are we moving crazy slow, we only succeed 20% of the time. I'm going to quickly just have a look at the chat again. I see a notice there. Awesome comment. You're gonna have a response on that a little later. Thanks, Angel. Right. So back to how things are done currently. It is way too slow and it adds risks. Due to the fact that risks are not dealt with autonomously. I mean, think about it. In the last 12 years, if there was any changes that happened, any risks that became issues, the process involved just to change things, to get the project back from red to green, took about 2 weeks of analysis, preparation of packs, many meetings, A month later, you've got a decision that was taken, and boom, you're back in green. Now you can go again. It adds risks. But if we had the opportunity to do it autonomously, instead of trying to manage it, it would have worked out differently. So instead of attempting to manage it, which means it's probably not transparent, which means it's probably very expensive and resource intensive, all these meetings and stuff. And it actually doesn't work that well, to be honest. Organizations that adopt modern governance methods will enable the speed to reduce these risks significantly. The use of AI by experienced staff will ensure that we can navigate through uncertainty better. Being obsessed with waste removal, and I mean waste removal like in wasteful events and meetings and stuff like that, and improved systems is definitely required. The key is entrepreneurial and experienced staff. That's the point. Then we can innovate, make responsible decisions faster and autonomously, definitely, because there is a void left by AI. Like AI can't do creative problem solving, it's not entrepreneurial, and it lacks the practical experience. And besides, we need leadership that can inspire. So that's what's needed to enable that. We need governance to be improved and able to adapt. About 7 years ago, I was handed a program of regulatory projects in 9 African countries. I don't know if you've ever seen African legislation, but it can be very funny. But none of the countries is even remotely in the same ballpark with its legislation. So I had a challenge that the governance processes were different in each of the countries. And I needed to come up with different ways of doing things whilst remaining compliant locally as well as to the PMO. I came up with a system that was method agnostic, and through the years I was able to improve it constantly. The system relied on all the characteristics of governance in such a way that I was enabled to influence informed decisions. My staff was motivated and inspired, and in some cases unstoppable, because they were given autonomy. From the other angle, I was able to support my executive, who was battling with accountability and constraints from a governance perspective. And that was not the ideal situation, by the way, as it put a huge amount of pressure on me. Anyway, I used the principles of entrepreneurship and it worked. For it to work, it required transparency. So no more massaging or creative manual reports, no management and control. And I had an obsession with identifying and destroying wasteful processes. Also had an obsession, and I still have it, with reducing meetings. And of course, you needed trust. And trust is actually a big word. It includes so much. But if you have trust, you kind of solved it. My delivery was method agnostic, and we used Kanban, Scrum, and Waterfall. And by the way, there was strategic streams running out of the tactical streams. And then, of course, we had to procure some stuff. And the moment you hit procurement, you probably need to use Waterfall. More recently, as my system improved, I even used methods like XP and TDD. Phenomenal. There are so many discussions about Scrum is dead, Agile is dead, Waterfall is dead. When you look at the bigger picture, look at the speed at which our rally car was traveling. All these discussions seem insignificant, unimportant. And I think it's because it is unimportant. Look at the top post that you see there. The guy mentioned something there that is scary. Look at it. 268% of agile projects fail. The author of this has no idea that he just admitted he fails to understand waterfall, agile, and scrums. You cannot measure failure on the science they used. And if you want to go and search for it, you'll probably discover that they used the Agile Manifesto as a foundation to determine that it didn't land the scope that was originally committed to. But it's kind of a problem. Measuring its success on a waterfall-based science of fixed scope, Agile doesn't have fixed scope. Besides, waterfall comes with a whole universe of other problems, but it is sometimes suitable for specific projects where Agile will probably not be the best. But these posts that cannot be ignored as they create an environment that increases risk significantly. As I look at these posts, I'm worried that people are still clueless, not realizing that the methodology used needs to be fitting the task at hand. Measuring success is irrelevant if the wrong methodology was used. Besides, that's not the real issue here. The issue is that we always look for a box. We climb into it, and then we become disciples of it. Methodologies are not religions. They are tools. It is the system that surrounds it that makes or breaks it. Besides, this is not how an entrepreneur should look at it. So with all this information about AI and innovation, are we really competing with the existing methodologies we use? Are we in a space where our existing systems is fast and efficient? Are we humans the bottleneck? Do you think all of this works? Do you think it's sustainable? With the previous context and questions in place, let's circle back to how we do things now. You see, at the moment, we are focusing on all the wrong things. Each of these methods work in the right circumstances. Instead of PMOs that are built method specific, or even worse, hybrid, the way we should tackle this is designing PMOs that around the minimum needs of governance. And then putting these methods in a toolbox and give it to the person doing the job to decide which way they want to use it. You can give a mechanic a pair of pliers and ask him to service a car. It will take him a very long time, and he might succeed 20% of the time after damaging half of the parts. And then he'll probably use blue wire to fix those. Or you can give the mechanic a proper toolbox with all the tools he might possibly need, including the latest and greatest tools on the market as they get released. Think about that. So just before I continue with the rest, and this is the last time I'm going to repeat a slide from last week for the guys that's here again. I just want to quickly drop an example, just for context. In the old days, we would prepare a business plan, fixed cost, fixed time, and scope, go for funding approvals, and then assemble the team for the project. The irony is this: you did not even know who will be in the project team, yet you already had a timeline to chase and already had fixed budgets for the people. So I'm going to use a software developer as an example, but remember, you've got analysts, you've got modelers, you've got all kinds of architects and designers in your team. I'm using a software developer as an example. One of them code a piece of code in 1 hour. The other one codes it in 8 hours. Both of them are senior software developers. You already have a cost, time, and probably massive impact of 70% already, just in 1 day. But you're expecting to land this fixed time, fixed scope, fixed budget in that committed time. The sponsor blames the PM blames the software developer, but the real culprit here is the plan was done by the wrong people and fixed at the wrong time. Sorry, I just had to drop that in there before I discuss the 3 sisters of delivery. The 3 sisters of delivery is rhythm, flow, and momentum. And it's the secret of the Internology recipe, the whole system. It is also the one thing that frameworks and systems currently in place do not really grasp. Ideas must flow from ideation to reality. And that's forward flow. Planning, that has to happen at a rhythm. And very importantly, by the right people. We have 5 layers of planning, starting at strategy, ending at hourly commitments that the team themselves plan in an hour's time. Delivery must not be interrupted. That's very important. So I've got the big issue with SAFE. With SAFE enforces that PI planning period where 2 weeks is interruption of 2 weeks is enforced on the teams. That is not a good idea because you break momentum every time they need to start from the beginning. So those are the 3 sisters of delivery. Now add to the secret sauce the obsession of reducing waste, and the 3 sisters will give your organization huge benefits. Reduction of risk, better predictability, as well as a phenomenal culture that inspires. Entrepreneurs are accountable for their actions, and opposite to popular preachings, do not like risks. I love it when I see all these descriptions and differences between entrepreneurs and employees, where they state entrepreneurs are they like risk. And that's not true. They just deal with risk differently and certainly do not wait for other people to solve it for them or some huge analysis. Entrepreneurs get into it and solve their risks immediately. Entrepreneurs want transparency as it ensures the best decisions are taken. Transparency also takes away unpleasant nonsense as the workplace function with trust and undergo a positive culture change. Responsibility is ingrained in an entrepreneurial environment where we all understand how important the work is. We are contributing to the bigger picture. So we understand we've got a responsibility to our other team members. It's our reputation that's on the line. Now, the way the Internology works is I planned my own work, so my commitments is personal. So it motivates us and it gives us a drive to stick to our commitments. Fairness comes with maturity in the workplace. We understand the complexities and difficulties that comes with our contributions. Entrepreneurs understand an effective system of corporate governance provides a framework within which the board and management address their key responsibilities. But also understand that governance should constantly evolve as technology supporting it evolves. Now, I don't feel that has been happening in the past 30, 40 years. Entrepreneurs understand the importance of regulatory compliance and ensure the transparency behind that, so it complies to that transparency. Transforming an organization into an entrepreneurial one is not that hard, actually. It requires a journey where you look at how things are being done at the moment understand how entrepreneurs look at it, and then see how the system can be put in place that starts changing an organization from the inside out and bottoms up if needed. You need to understand the foundation on which to build through the values and success principles of corporate entrepreneurship is vital. Understand governance and why it exists. Don't just, it's because it is. You need to understand it. Why does it exist? But also, why agile transformation has been failing because of it. I don't know about you, but I've always been in between, like sandwiched between the executive and the team that's executing agile. You always had to navigate all your reporting, all the communication through to the executive in a certain way because they were still held ransom by the old way of corporate governance. The corporate governance is not set up by them. It's set up by the board. So it's not in their control. So there's a massive change that is required there. Okay, the options for ideation, funding, planning, and execution of work needs to change. The tools that can be used in a method agnostic environment, like STLC, all these methods, Scrum, Kanban. I don't know if you're familiar with Agile 2. There's an Agile 2 as well, XP, TDD, whatever. All these tools must be available. How do we achieve organizational growth? Through a fortification framework. That's also important. That encourages personal improvement and self-learning scientifically. And then your organization also needs a system that is future-ready to ensure its success and longevity. From the insane speed at which innovation is happening today, I'd like to know, where are you standing? I hope I'm triggering a few thoughts. AI is a vital part of the success recipe in the workplace ahead. AI will play a significant role in fast-tracking our innovation. So many people think of AGI and all these advanced AI and stuff. But the most important AI solutions that our businesses need right now and to invest in is much simpler. And it's actually more important in the short run. And the sooner you buy into that, the better. You need to explore AI systems, react to the current situation, and that is the key to the whole success. So let's have a look at a couple of systems in terms of what we need to look for. AI systems that react to current situations and that doesn't store information. And this is AI like your operation based on predefined rules and conditions, like IBM's Deep Blue, the one that beat Garry Kasparov in chess, was focusing purely on the current state of the board. That's the type of AI you firstly need to look at. Then you need to look at the implementation of AI that can use past experiences to inform current decisions within a limited context, of course. This is that type of AI that have short-term memory, which allows them to learn from recent experiences. And this is like autonomous vehicles like Tesla. It uses AI to navigate, remembering recent speeds and directions of other cars. But this can also be useful in team dynamics and culture maturity, etc. There's all kinds of ways that it can be applied. We also need to look at narrow or weak AI, which can focus on a single or limited task. Examples of these are stuff like chatbots, virtual assistants, automated data entry and processing of predictive analytics, so supply chain optimization, security systems, all those kind of things. The last one I like to mention is generative AI. It's something I use quite a lot. which is capable of generating new content like text, images, or music based on the learning from a data set. ChatGPT, for example, is very useful. These can be used for marketing, recruitment. When you put a CV on the internet or you look at posting a job, they're probably using AI for the recruitment exercise. You can use it for training, risk assessments, even contract analysis and optimization of contracts. What I use it for quite frequently is to adapt the tone to the target audience. So if I know someone is going to be very upset, very passionate, and very emotional about something I'm saying in the report, I'll copy and paste it in chat, and I will ask ChatGPT, please make the tone lighter or happier, or add an emotion. And boom, it spits it out, and it changed everything. And now it suddenly sounds different. And people that's worked with me before know I just say it as it is. And that's very useful for me to avoid a lot of conflict when I say things as it is. Keep posting those notes, guys. I'm just very aware of my time. As we travel through the future, AI will be a great advantage for mankind. I firmly believe that. It will enable us to become spacefaring with incredible opportunities. I can think of, for example, space tourism, asteroid mining. You must look at that. It's interesting what asteroids have. But AI is not all about the insane future we have ahead of us. It's about the more important benefits it can give us right now. Data analysis and decision making, automation of routine tasks, personalized reports and dashboards. That's a huge thing for executives. If you take the life of an executive, it's insane. You travel vast distances and you don't sleep in a plane. You actually go through packs. Make sure you know what you're talking about when you get in your next meeting. Now with AI, you can use AI to personalize your report, make it much simpler for you to read, and you can create dashboards. It can also be used for risk management, strategic insights, through simulation, enhanced communication, compliance monitoring. But AI is also incredible to assist us with innovation and idea generation. I can analyze patents, research papers, or market trends to suggest innovation opportunities. It's phenomenal. You can have a look at that. In my previous keynote, Melinda brought up the problem of poor data quality. I like to highlight this problem because the problem of poor data quality in AI is profoundly serious. And it touches on what Angel asked me earlier. Presenting both immediate and long-term challenges across multiple dimensions. AI models are only as good as the data they're trained on. Poor data quality leads to bad performance. It can fail spectacularly. Also like to add another dimension to that. If you have ever been involved with consulting where the intention is to do a root cause analysis, then you will know that bias can easily give false results. The interpretation of data can easily mess up truth due to factors like overfitting to noise or biases in the training data. So, for large AI solutions, I recommend that you plan at least 80% of your cost for the processing of cleaning and preparing data for AI. This will be key to be able to trust the AI tools, and also for your change management where people need to start using them to trust those tools. Also add regulatory and compliance issues. Keep an eye out for innovation stagnation. So bottlenecks. Data quality can also stifle innovation. The inability to quickly and reliably process and use data can slow down the development of new AI applications. So be aware of this. And a big one is operational risks. AI system with poor data quality might fail without any notice. So, big one. And then, of course, scalability is a massive challenge. So just that portion of data that I feel that is very important to highlight. And it's because of Melinda's comment in the previous session. How we do things now is aligned with yesterday. Those people that do not change their focus onto AI or integrate new ways to supplement the experience will be those that will become unemployable in the next 2 years. That's unfortunately the truth. But the same is true for organizations. The first organizations that adapt to current technology will lead us into tomorrow. Those that don't will die a loud and horrible death within the next 5 years. And we will see big ones fail, I promise you. And these are not guesses, it is facts. Our careers have changed already. Our management styles have changed already. We require entrepreneurship, innovation, and inspirational leadership to fill the void that AI cannot fill, and a system that enables us to deliver better. Thank you all. That is today's session. So I'm going to quickly just ask you if you have any comments or questions. I see, Angel, you've been quite active here. I'm just scrolling up. As you talk through AI decisions, how can we ensure transparency and how the AI makes the decisions? Now, I'm not specifically be able to tell you about AI decisions because that's a very broad question. It depends on the type of solutions you're using. So if you procure certain software, etc. But I can tell you that transparency that I've used in my teams, and unfortunately in South Africa, we don't use other like Trello and Monday.com and so forth. We use Jira. I'm kind of a Jira expert. Tsolo that's in the session, he's probably one of the best guys I've ever worked with in Jira. But Jira is the one that we're using for transparency. And to just let the cat out of the bag a little bit, we track our capabilities, our stories, and any kind of capabilities that's required in a Kanban board on Jira. That is transparent with the acceptance criteria, but it's also transparent as to how it travels through the different environments. So different environments, starting with ideation, where business analysts might need to pick it up and dissect it further, to where the test cases needs to be automated in automated systems to design as it goes through the whole process up to the point where it ends up in production, is all tracked on Jira. That's then linked to your different activities that is needed to get that stories into the production environment. So that will be your analysis, your design work, the actual dev coding, etc. That we track in Scrum boards, which is iterative work, which is the actual work that the people doing. And that's all transparent. So we build dashboards on the side. That is then given to our leadership, and we don't need to meet with them. They actually know what's going on. But there's an agreement that they will not behave emotionally. They won't get excited if there's a problem. Give the guy the chance to solve it. If he asks for help, then there's a solution. So that leads to transparency. But the moment you have a leadership that's controlling and managing, you lose that. Because people now are afraid to be honest. So they start massaging the reports, make it sound better, etc. So you don't have that brutal honesty. And the brutal honesty is what's needed so that we can take the right decisions. And my leadership needed to understand that. That's what they're getting. If they don't, that's what I'm getting with my team. I'm putting myself in between and make sure I then navigate my leadership. And that's happened a lot. I mean, unfortunately, that's the case in many organizations. Remember, your executives have to think about the governance constantly because their personal reputation is directly linked to the business's share price and etc. There's a whole bunch of stuff, but they need to be aware of that, and that causes some anxiety, and it's understood. How are biases treated when programming AI, and how can we make sure AI doesn't include harmful biases in our tech? So AI, when you do the machine learning, what are you talking about? I'm not entirely sure. Angela, are you still on the line? If you don't mind.
Yes, I'm here.
Wonderful to hear your voice. Just give me a bit better expand on that.
You were talking about biases, or?
Yeah, you're asking how biases are treated when programming AI. Are you talking about when we are doing machine learning, or what are you talking about specifically?
Yeah, totally. When we are the ones programming the AI and doing this machine learning in our models, how can we not include biases into our programming or into our actual AI, you know?
I just want to check if I have a, sorry if I jump through the slides, guys. I just quickly want to show you. I was there already. Sorry, my apologies. If you look at the middle, you see that multi-dimensional diamond. What it has is 12 dimensions to which it links, and it keeps emotion out. So it will look specifically at how does it impact people, systems, architecture, regulatory requirements, regional, etc. What we've worked with is we've created an Internology multi-dimensional diamond, which is always aligned to everything we do. So when we do AI, okay, you're calling it programming AI, the AI is learning it according to the diamond. So all the dimensions that can possibly affect something that it is aligned to. So there's no emotion added. And that's where we attempt to remove biases. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yes, totally. Thanks.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Tsolo. Thanks for sharing all this. Thank you. Thank you. Cholo, thank you very much. Okay, so I don't see any more questions. It seems like we're 3 minutes over. So before...
Sorry, Ron.
Go for it.
Yeah, it's John. Maybe I have one question regarding Jira, user story, and AI. Do you think, my guess is not, do you think the AI can really write correct user story to be relevant for the devs?
Okay.
With everything we put inside it, like the rules, like acceptance case, etc., etc.
I know you're an expert in it, so I'm going to step into the open here. But if you do, for example, a regulatory project where you've got legislation, so your AI scans through the legislation and it populates your, call it functional, non-functional requirements, to talk old school. Those can be easily mapped by AI in Jira, and it's no problem. But the moment you step into the space of innovation, you've got a problem. Then I cannot see AI. I can see AI helping you, but you need that individual, you need the person that can help you with the acceptance criteria, perhaps be creative, etc. Does that answer your question?
Totally. I'm fully agree with what you say.
Well, awesome. That's good news. Okay, guys, thank you very much. I think this was a fantastic session. We have 46 that registered, 12 that attended. I'm very pleased. I just want to ask you, I did give it to you in LinkedIn, but this link, if you just can go and give me a nice review there, be brutally honest and tell me everything you think I can do better. And if you are very nice, you can give me a review that I can publish on my website. If you look at the slide that I'm showing you right now, you can take these QR codes. If you want to chat with me, if you want to phone me, I'm available. I really love it when people talk to me. You can talk to me at any time, and just scan these. Take note that Internology is also a proud sponsor. I actually like the word inspired sponsor, because proud sponsors sounds so boring for the South African people, where you can go and nominate any people that you want to nominate in projects. There's 21 categories and a nice 19,000 Rand prize to win. So please, guys, you can send me mails, contact me at any time. Awesome having a session with you. It was an honor and a privilege. Thank you, everyone.